It's amazing.
Well, hi friends, and welcome to the kitchen.
No, not good. Hi! This is me, Eli.
Okay, so hi friends. Welcome back to the kitchen, and today is April 4th, and we are getting dumped on with a ton of really wet, heavy snow, and we've lost power. So it flickered for a while this morning, and then it did finally go out. We had this kind of storm back in November, and we lost power for 5 days then. So this is not our first rodeo, and it's unlikely we're gonna get power back anytime soon. So with that being said, I took to Facebook and asked in a couple of groups like what you wanted to see. I was like, hey, I've got no power, but I've got batteries for my camera, so what do you want to know? And you guys said you wanted to know about life here in Maine and cooking without power, and you guys wanted to know about cooking without power and just kind of like what day-to-day life looks like when you're without power for an extended period of time. So I'm here to tell you. All right. Yeah. We'll get going.
Yeah, here.
So thankfully, before we lost power, we had just had lunch. Stuff was in the oven, finished up. We were able to just pull it out and have lunch, no problem. So lunch was taken care of, and since these are dirty, and we do have a wood stove for all of our heat, so I'm actually going to use these to cook pizza later on top of the wood stove. So then in here, in our main bathroom, when you are without power, it's best to fill up the tub and use that water to fill the back of your toilet so that you can still flush as needed. Our water is super hard. Like, our tub is not dirty at all. Our tub is that beautiful white color, but I filled this tub this morning at about 11, and it's now like 2. And the amount of iron in our water is insane, and it just turns orange within a matter of hours. So that's why it looks like that. It's not gross, it's just a lot of minerals. So for those that have never filled a toilet before, this top here comes off, and if you just keep filling this with water, it actually doesn't need electricity to work. So we go by the saying, if it's yellow, let it mellow. If it's brown, flush it down. And for multiple days like this, that's what we're going to have to do. And so whenever we need to flush, whether it's at the end of the night or first thing in the morning, and or solid waste, we will take that top off and put in a bucket of water and flush it. And one of the tasks we have today is taking care of a ton of laundry. So one of the things we did yesterday was clean the house top to bottom, and switched out all the bed sheets and did all of the laundry. So there's still a bunch of laundry downstairs just from quilts and things, but this is a ton of laundry. And so we just kept doing the laundry, washing as much as we could. And then today, this is all clean, so we can just fold it and put it away. But it was really important to wash laundry, while we had power. And I did start my seed trays the other day, but we are without electricity, so that means I'm without light. So I actually haven't planted anything, so I may wait another day or so before I even put any seeds in here, because if there's no lights, then we're not going to get germination. So I don't want to waste the seeds in that way. And we have a ton of these beautiful oil lanterns. Living here in Maine, it's, we lose power often. So having oil lanterns and oil on standby is a must. And so each room has one of these, or the kids have electric ones that work really well that we only use for bedtime. And then we station these throughout the house in an area that kids can't get. And so we'll use these at nighttime, like while we're having dinner, and then we'll transition to the battery operated ones when they go to bed. One thing that I like to do is keeping the windows open during the day. So like keep the shades open as much as possible. You can even see in my room just how light it is, because you know things make us you know, having the difference of night and day is really important to our sleep schedule and just to how we feel and how we move about the house throughout the day. So I try and make sure that everything is open as much as it can be during the day, so we are getting as much light for as long as possible. So we're also lucky that we have this big, beautiful wood stove fireplace in our living room. And this acts as a central heat source. We are 100% wood as of this year. So this is what we use for heat. And it does a really good job of heating both floors. So we have the main floor here, which has our living room. And it has our kitchen. And then upstairs we have 2 rooms on each side. And so with those doors open, the bedrooms don't have any heat, but with the doors open, this heat gets up there no problem. And we have another wood stove in the basement. So this wood stove heats both of these top 2 floors. The basement one really only heats the basement. And it's just great. As you can see, we've got our water boiling on there for the hot cocoa that we just had. And then I'll be cooking pizzas on here later. Okay, so we're trying out pizza. I've started by like par baking this, and I'm going to poke some holes in here, get the toppings on. Okay, so I actually had to grate some fresh mozzarella, and we're gonna get this back over the wood stove. So now I'm doing one in my cast iron because this here has egg stuff on it and I can't use that for the baby. So we've got our cast iron. And don't mind the background singing. I put some fork holes in this one, so hopefully it won't rise as much. Alright, here we go. Try and get video of this because we're losing daylight quickly. Look at that. Oh. You hear that snap? Oh, and it's so nice and soft on top. A little bit dark in the middle there. But that's because it was thin. They'll eat it anyhow. Everyone will be happy. Hey friend, let's take a minute out right now and I want to tell you who this video is sponsored by. This video is sponsored by me. Yes, if you go over and check out fortheloveofleftovers.com, I have a bunch of delicious, easy, budget-friendly recipes for you. And then my sister site, not my sister's site, but my sister site, Meal Planning with Leftovers, is a really fun, great website that I'm working on building up to give you actual printables and digital copies of different things, such as meal plans that are based on budget, that are based on food items, that are based on allergies, that are based on all the things, doing what I can to give you quick and easy meal plans that are already nice, neatly packaged for you, as well as some really fun printables like the Penny Pincher Meal Plan and the Rescue Meal Planner. These are items that you can print yourself at home. You can take them to a Staples and get them bound, whatever it is that you want to do. You can even download these and use them in GoodNotes if you like the digital planner type of a version. So go head over after this video and check out For the Love of Leftovers and Meal Planning with Leftovers, and I'll see you over there. So I'm in the process of cleaning out our fridge because things are getting warm and they're gonna start going bad. So I've got some strawberries. Today's going to be kind of a smorgasbord of things, and anything that I don't need to cook, we're going to like use those today. So I've got pizza stuff left over. We're going to do another pizza for today, but I've also got strawberries that are going to get eaten for snack. We've got some leftover pasta, and I can just put sauce in this and put this near the wood stove and it'll heat up, or I can put it on a trivet on the wood stove. I just wouldn't put the glass directly on there. We've got some cheeses that need to be used up. I've taken a decent amount out of the fridge and then put things on the porch here that's still covered in snow in our big cooler. This cooler is amazing. I will link this down in the comments. Worth every purchase, or every dollar rather. And then I've been grabbing clean snow and boiling it on the stove, and we're going to wash dishes that way. So you can probably see, if I can get a close enough picture, like even with getting clean snow, there's still debris in here. So I'm not going to like give this to anyone to drink, though if we had to, I would absolutely pass this through like a coffee filter and get all of the hair and little debris particles out after boiling it, and then put it like in a jug and put it outside on the snow. That's absolutely something you can do, and boiling it helps to kill any bacteria and gives us kind of an endless supply. As long as it's not yellow snow, we'll use it. So I have a few of these bottles of water that I purchased at the store the other day, and have not filtered water yet. So I'm still using this purchased water. We do have a well out back that I could go to. Again, just has not happened yet. I need to find a clean bucket. I was not as prepared as normally I am, but I'm using this water to do things like wash the strawberries. I'm just using as minimal water as possible, and yeah, that's how we're getting it done. This is what we've got left for the jug of clean water. I will have to start boiling and cooling and funneling into these jugs. And then for actual drinking water, we do have bottled water. We also have a Brita pitcher, and so we'll use that in conjunction with well water when I go and get that, probably during nap time. So last night we decided that we like the sheet pan pizza better. The cast iron one was just a little too thick. This gives us a nice thin crust, and it's very crunchy and delicious. So this time I am putting some fork holes in it to hopefully prohibit it from bubbling up like we had last night. So now one at a time, I'm going to put these on the wood stove. I've added some tin foil. See if I can get it to stay. I've added some tin foil to create kind of this mock oven effect, and it's going right on the top. It's pretty rip-roaring fire, so we're giving it some really hot direct heat. And I was able to get all of our dishes done. So we will have a clean kitchen again momentarily. I've got some fresh water in here, super hot water, just plain water in case I need to rinse anything or wipe down the counter here, which I'll do that with paper towels and cleaner, so not to dirty a rag or anything unless we absolutely need to. All right, so day 3, and the fridge is definitely out of cool air now. So today's lunch and snacks become all the things that we had in the fridge that really just now need to be used up. So we've got hot dogs, we've got some fresh berries, lots of vegetables. And since we were in here, gave the fridge a nice clean because there was of course a bit of a smell going on. Some things did have to get thrown out. Oh, thank you, JJ. Thanks, buddy. So this will be left open even though JJ is closing it up. That will get left open and aired out. The condiments in there will be fine. We'll use that, or I'll throw them into a bag and put them out on the porch where the cooler is. Oh goodness. And we'll get them cooled back down. But for now, we are supposedly getting everything back, all our power back tonight at 6, but it's like 9 in the morning. So we've still got lunch and dinner and snacks. One big tip though, the cleaner you can keep things, the better. So we've got a few things here, like I've got some pesto, that's in oil, so that's gonna be fine. But like I've got some peas that need to get tossed. I've got some lentil taco meat. This needs to get tossed as well. It's been too long. So, but some of these other things, like we'll just use peppers for snack and lunch, and it'll be kind of like a charcuterie board. And then we've got some rice. Maybe we'll do... Okay, thank you. We'll do some like vegetarian tacos or something like that for lunch. All right, so for lunch we are going to use up the sausage that we had, and we're going to use up some rice and peppers, and I have a jar of salsa, and we're going to add in some taco seasoning, and we're going to do just a 1-pot taco dish, and then we'll put that into taco shells, or we'll just put it in bowls and top it with cheese and sour cream that we have in the cooler outside. Okay, so as I'm cleaning up and prepping things, I'm thinking about what I'm going to make using up some of the ingredients that we have, because this is all gonna go bad fairly quickly. So my first thought, we have a ton of pork, so I'm going to use this kale and I'm gonna make some big batch zuppa toscana, but I'm gonna do it without potatoes and without the cream because those don't freeze very well. But I have a bunch of chicken broth, so I need to get that used up as well. So we're just going to do a slight variation in it, and then when we're ready to serve, then I'll cook the potatoes on the side, and I will add the potatoes and I'll add the cream like right before serving. We've got a bunch of baby spinach as well. So I think what I'm going to do with this, I have some chicken breasts in the freezer that are probably de-thawing as we speak. So I'm going to do, I think I'm going to do either a chicken gnocchi or chicken and wild rice. Since I had, well, I guess it wouldn't be wild rice, but like a chicken and rice, and use spinach and use the rice. And then I've also got some celery. I don't have any carrots, but that's okay. And yeah, the peaches, not sure what I'm going to do with the peaches just yet. And then I've got a bunch of pesto. Like I said, the pesto should be fine because it's in oil, so we'll probably keep that. And then I've got a few citrus things, and then I've got pickles, and the pickles will be fine. This one hasn't even, oh, it has been opened, but so yeah, I think these will be fine. We'll keep those. I've got some avocados and garlic. Like I said, I've got the citrus, so there's a few things that we'll just pop back in the fridge. They'll be fine. We're supposed to get our power back this evening, so they'll be okay. The peaches though, they're definitely on the softer side. I was going to use them in a recipe and photography session, but they look a little worse for the wear. So maybe I'll do some like fresh peach oatmeal or something. And then I did have frozen meatballs. So this is obviously not on since we don't have power, but I had the frozen meatballs and they were de-thawing. So I got them in here, barbecue sauce, ketchup, and grape jelly that were in the fridge. So these are, as soon as we get power, these are gonna start cooking. I mean, everything's like cooked, really. So just kind of more like you don't want to get freezer burn, risk bacteria type of a deal. So that's why these are going to get used up and used up pretty quickly. And so then we'll have this also. So inadvertently making dinner for the week and just using up the things that we're going to thaw out so that we're not wasting money. Okay, so here we are, day 4, which really, we got our power back last night. So now we have cleaned all the fridges, and now I am making food with our items that we need to use. So I've got zuppa toscana in this one, and then I've got a spicy pork Korean stew going here. And yeah, we're gonna see what else we can make. I did have a spicy chipotle chicken freezer meal also, so that's now in the crock pot going. We did meatballs yesterday. Kids are eating that for lunch. So we're getting everything cooked that there's even a chance that it thawed, so that we can eat that this week. So thanks for hanging out with me, friends. I hope you learned something and maybe feel a little bit more prepared for those emergency situations that we just obviously never feel prepared for. You know, it's called an emergency situation for a reason, but hopefully you learned some new tips and tricks and yeah, got a little bit of encouragement. If I can do it, you can do it. All right, I'll see you next time. Bye.